Hey everyone, this is Deanna, and I am here with my Lone Wolf Designs design team showcase for this month. I have made a 6x6 mini album, and the paper collection that I have used is Teresa Collins' He Said, She Said, and I used the He Said because this is an album for my husband. So I didn't want it to be too flowery. I used the die cut sheet, and it's double-sided, which is really awesome. I used the sticker sheet, which has all kinds of great stuff on it. Stickers, these hexagons, there were some photo corners, some little tabs, banners, some stickers. I guess those are probably like 11 inches or 11 and a half inches. There you go. And let's see here, what else did I use? I have some Tim Holtz Ideology tickets, which you will see throughout. I used some of these journaling cards from the Me and My Big Ideas pocket pages. These are, set up for Project Life and stuff like that. They're 4x6 and 3x4 cards, but I really like them. They've got little pattern papers. They've got little sayings about family, mom, dad, sister, brother, stuff like that. And then the back of them has grid lines, which is great for journaling. I used a few pieces from this King Company ephemera pack, which I got from Savannah in a rack. It was really great. We had been out of town for a funeral and came home, and this was in my mailbox, so that was something happy to come home to. There's all kinds of great goodies in here, but what I used was some of this handmade paper and some of the corrugated cardboard. I have these twisty ties, which are awesome. They're printed with little lovey-dovey things. They have white ones and black ones. I picked these up on clearance somewhere. And then one of my favorite things to use in mini albums, magnets. You can make little flaps that lift up, and you can close envelopes, stuff like that, and I use it on an envelope, which I'll show you later. It's towards the back of the book. But these are basic gray, and I love them. I'm on my second pack, actually, since I really started making mini albums about a year ago. They are wafer thin, like thinner than a dime. You get 10 in a package, and they're totally great. Like I said, I love them. Also in this book, I used some transparencies, which we'll go ahead and get started going through this real quick. This was a 12x12 transparency from Hambly that I just cut down. It had all kind of stuff on it, and I cut out this part because I liked the frame and thought it would be perfect for a picture, to frame a picture. So that's what I did with it. And I used my tiny attacher to staple a little banner. And that's a picture of me and my husband when we got married. This is a book about a family book. So it's got family pictures. So it starts when we got married, and then it's got pictures of the kids and the dog and stuff. On this page, let's see here. I just trimmed my 4x6 photo a little bit. I used one of the stickers right there. This was one of the stickers, and I just cut a little flag on the end, and then this was one of the stickers too, and I cut off, that was one of those big 11-inch stickers. I cut off a little bit of it to make a banner, and that was just a little scratch piece of paper. And then over here on this page, I used a piece of Coordinations cardstock and just made a pocket. I cut off the bottom part of the paper, the die cut sheet, this part right here that talks about the paper line, It says he said, she said. So I cut that off. Zoom back out here. I cut that off and then use the stickers and spelled out I do, since like I said these are wedding pictures. I use my Stampin' Up! Tab punch to do that. Tab right there. And then that one is one of the stickers. Hard to do this upside down. Let's see here. On this page, this cardstock was one of the cardstock banners from the sticker sheet. Tim Holtz ticket, which I just stapled on. One thing that I've started doing now since I've been making mini albums is to change the shape of the pages. Instead of just making them all square, it adds a little bit of interest to your album if you use different things to make pages out of. Like at the front, I used that transparency. That was kind of fun, right? On this page, I just took a plate and traced it and then just cut you know, the circle shape with my scissors, and that was something I can still fit a nice size photo on there, and it was just you know, a little something different and fun to do. And somehow I missed a month of printing pictures, so I have to go back and add those in. This is another piece of the Coordinations cardstock. I've cut down to about 4 inches wide, and I used Tim Holtz on the edge die. Just add a little bit of something extra, you know, fun right there. One of the other things that I used in here that I got to coordinate with this set was the envelopes, and you get 4 envelopes in the pack, and this is like it's not the smallest size. Well, I guess it's the next to the largest size. And what I did was I used some liquid adhesive to glue it to the page. And I just used some plain cardstock to make a little accordion fold little book here. And I'm able to get 8 photos, you know, in this little book. I've got 8 photos on this page with some journaling of what we did over spring break, which is what those pictures were. And no matter how careful you are, sometimes you still make a mistake. What I did was this picture right here was from October of 2010. When I had sorted my pictures, somehow it got put in October of 2011. So when I got to the 2011 pictures, I had this, you know, this picture, and it belongs way back here at the beginning of the book. And what am I going to do? How am I going to fit it in there? Because I've already done all this. I can't, you know, add any pages in. So what am I going to do? Well, washi tape to the rescue. I just made a little hinge with the washi and just taped it to this transparency. Put my journaling on the back. Used the tab punch and a sticker from the collection, so that you can just flip that open like that. And you know, if you had more picture, you could put another picture right there, more journaling, whatever. If you forget to put something in your book, or you find something later that you want to add in, that's a good way to put it in there, and then you don't have to freak out like I did. On this page was another one of those transparencies, and what I did with this was, instead of gluing the stuff down to the transparency, I used my tiny attacher and stapled it. And when I did this side first and stapled it down with the staples kind of low in, you know, into my journaling spot, and then on the back I just lifted, you know, I lifted this up and stapled it, and the other one is stapled closer to the top, and you can't see the staples from the other side, you know, so you can't catch your fingers on them and cut yourself. Or I don't like to see staples in the backs of brads, so I always try to cover them up somehow, and that was one way to do that on that transparency. So on this page, I just, you know, it's really plain and simple, the piece of the Coordinations cardstock. I used some scraps of the paper, just cut 2 little strips of sticker. Those were banners from the die cut sheet. These little journaling lines right there were actually from the packaging from this washi tape, which came from the dollar bin at Joann's. And all I did was just cut out a circle. It's already got lines on it like a little piece of notebook paper, so it works great for journaling. Sometimes, you know, you got to think outside the box a little bit. Look through your stuff and see what you could use. I did another mini album one time where some embellishment that I bought came in a nice heavy clear packaging, and I used that as a page in the mini album. I cut off the sticky part and I punched holes in it, and I just put it right into my mini album. So you know, start saving your packaging now. This page, I used some more washi tape and made a flap. Used a piece of that journaling. Another little piece of that same banner that I used on that page earlier, just to put a little something up there in the corner. This is a page that I cut in half. You'll see the other half of it further back in the book. And just another one of those things, like I said, to add some interest. It's really only big enough for 1 or 2 photos, but, you know, that's all I needed. I just put pictures of the kids swimming in the pool. And some of the Tim Holtz tickets. This page has this bingo card, and this handmade paper was from that King Company pack. I used some of the stickers from the sticker sheet to spell out Father's Day. Cut some of the pattern paper and made little banners, little flags, and then I used a border punch and just punched the edge of the page. It just gives it a little something extra, you know, and the flags hang off the page, which is totally okay because this page is shorter, you know, than the rest of the book. So they're not going to hang out and get bent or messed up or anything. Handmade flower I got in a swap, and then there's another one of those twisty ties. I took the flower apart and put it underneath the brad, and then smushed it back down in there. On this page was another transparency. Whoops, it just came apart. Got to get some more glue on there. This was a transparency. Right here I used a doily, and I cut out the outside frilly part, which was right here. I cut off the outside frilly part, and I just used the middle part to make a you know, a little base to put these pictures on. And then here's the back, which I guess I didn't get enough glue, so I'm gonna have to glue that on there again. But since it came off, make sure you use strong glue when you're adhering to a transparency. I used some Beacon 3-in-1, but I guess I need a little bit more. Something that you want to make sure you do with your using transparencies is you don't want your adhesive to show on the other side. So when I glued this on, I put the glue actually on the transparency, and I put it in the middle right here where it would be covered up by the doily on the other side, so you wouldn't be able to see the glue, because that just makes your book look messy if you can see adhesive. This page I used one of those tags, the Tim Holtz tags, and a sticker to make a little journaling spot, and it just tucks in right here behind this picture, and a little pocket that I made. So that's just a little something, adds a little bit something extra. You can hide your journaling if it's something, you know, kind of personal that you don't want everybody to see, you know, or if you just run out of room on the page, which is what happened to me. This page, I just rounded the corners. Oh no, I used my corner chomper to put a decorative edge on those there. This was another page that has one of those envelopes. Now this was actually the smallest envelope, which, I don't know, was about 2 by 3 maybe. And there's glitter in here that does not come off, which is great because I'm not really a big fan of glitter. And what I did with this was I just made these little tags to put in there. So I have 4 tags with pictures on each side. So that's 8 pictures. And then I also have these other 2 pictures on here. So that's 10 pictures I put on this little 6 by 6 page. You know, if you've got pockets or envelopes, stuff like that, you know, you can use those to get some more stuff on your pages. Or do like I did on this page. This is another one of those half pages. I just made a little flip waterfall type thing. And I could probably stick another picture down there. I'm trying to find a quote about family, actually, to go right there. So that was 3 more pictures, and you could always put pictures on the back if you didn't want journaling. But I just journaled a little bit about the pictures. And then there's that page. On this page, what I did was use one of those tags from the Me and My Big Ideas journaling pack. I put some glossy accents on the hearts, and then I used some washi tape to make a hinge. I attached this little flag that I just cut from the pattern paper. Here was half of that doily, the outside piece, which I just put back there with the pattern paper and some stickers to spell out Father's Day. Over here we have, this paper was really busy, so it was kind of hard to find. You know, I didn't want to cover it up too much, but you know, you need to cover it up enough so that your pictures, you know, don't get lost on it. I had a small piece of that corrugated cardboard, and then a piece of the patterned paper, which I cut the bottom of it with the banner. I cut the bottom of it with the EK Success Punch, and then, you know, I glued that on top of that little piece of cardboard, so it just adds a little bit of interest there. This page is made with a number 8 tag. I just folded it and glued it on the sides and made a little pocket. Decorated it with some of the scraps from the pattern paper. One of those twisty ties I stapled to a tag. And then there is just a little tag here that has, Sarah and I went to the tea room, so there's pictures of us at the tea room, and then a picture of my crazy dog. And then another picture on the back. And here's where I ran out of pictures. So I was only printing 50 pictures. I did a photo collage, so I was able to get 4 on each 4x6 sheet. So I printed like 42 like that, and I had 6 or 8, however many to make up however many I had, and I did some of them with, you know, those wedding pictures were the full 4x6 size. So I have to print some more pictures over the next couple weeks to finish this up. But I used the on the edge die to cut this piece of cardstock. This was that large envelope. I went ahead and just punched the holes in it and put it directly in my book. And I can add some extra pictures in there. I can put some notes in there, you know, some little mushy love notes or something. On this page, I just used my quarter rounder and did that. I used a Spellbinder's die to do that. On this page, I used the plate, and then I went to the kids' art box and I took the, you know, those little fancy edge scissors that everybody had when you first started scrapbooking. Well, I don't use those anymore very much, so I actually give them to the kids, and they love them for when they're cutting up construction paper and stuff. But every so often I need them for a project, so I, you know, borrowed them real quick to cut my little half circle out there. Just a different edge, just gives it a little interest. A piece of that cardboard, and then a Tim Holtz hinge clip right here. And here's the last envelope that I used, and this is the one that has the magnet in it. I just put half of it underneath the underneath the tab right here, and then the other half is down here. I lined the envelope and it's underneath the lining because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with this. If I'm going to glue it down, if I was going to glue it down and I knew this is where I wanted it, I would have just put it, you know, back here. But I'm not sure if I just want to leave it like this and leave it clipped in, or if I'm going to glue it down to this page, or maybe put it in the back of the book. I'm not real sure. Right now it's hanging out right here until I figure out what to do with it, which is perfectly fine. I used my Bind It All to bind the book, and for my covers, I used mat board, and this piece of mat board was actually this brown leather look. I really like that for a manly type album, so I left that on there. The inside is black. I'm probably not going to do anything to it. I'm going to make an envelope or a pocket or something in the front here, or maybe in the back, and have the kids, you know, make cards or write a note to their dad for Father's Day. So, that's, that. It's kind of chunky, but that's alright. My husband will probably take it to work and put it on his desk. I've given him a couple mini albums, you know, over the few years that we've been married and that we've been together, and he looks at them at home and then takes them to work and puts them on his desk so he can show them off to everybody. So I think that's really great. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed looking at this. Remember, if you haven't joined us over at Lone Wolf Designs Discount Retail Sales Facebook page, you should totally come check us out. Products are always 25% off manufacturer's suggested retail price. You don't have to wait for a coupon to come in your email. You don't have to wait for it to come in the newspaper. She places orders from several companies several times a month. And, you know, we get some great deals. So I hope to see you there. Thanks.